Back from Once Upon a Time. This is episode 10 of season 5. Very excited to see what's going to be happening next. Hopefully this episode is going to be focusing more on the Emma and Hook stuff, the fact that he's a Dark One and everything. Because the last episode was good fun and everything with Merida and all of that, but a strange point in the season, I think, to have an episode like that. So hopefully this is jumping back into it, especially because if this season follows the same structure as previous seasons, we're coming quite close to the end of this arc, I would assume, if it ends around episode 11-ish, like it did before. But maybe this is just going to be an entire season thing, maybe it's going to be a bit longer than that, I don't really know. But I do feel like we're getting a lot of the answers now, so yeah, I think something's going to kind of explode very soon. So I'm excited to carry on to what's going to be happening next, and let's get into the next one.
You tried to stop me from knowing the truth, and now I'm going to return the favor.
Oh. Oh. Same.
Hi.
Just the voice he wants in his head.
Bloody crocodile.
And you will finally do what you never could before.
What's that?
Why, kill me, of course.
This again. Oh boy.
There was no one around to give me hope or tell me when I was being stupid. Fine, you're being stupid, so stop it.
Get your affairs in order, dearie, for we do.
Oh wow.
Where it all began. Shall we finish what we started?
Indeed.
Oh dear. Gold's getting into all these fights, look.
You just have to take off the cuff. You don't trust me.
I mean, you haven't given them many reasons to.
I need you to tell them it's okay to take off this cuff. It's the only way to figure it all out.
No.
I mean, you pissed him off. I don't think he's going to do that.
You lied to us. You decided that you would figure it out on your own. We were a team.
Operation Cobra.
But
Aww.
now, you just want your dark magic back so you can do it alone. And I've seen...
Now it's
what you do with
Operation
dark magic.
Nobra.
Of all the parts I foresaw for your daughter, I'm afraid that this was the darkest.
Typical.
She does have great power. The lake is but a 2-day journey from here. It's worth a try. And if I don't make it in time? Well, then you get to spend your last moments with your mother.
Oh, good. Every cloud.
We share one heart because we took the same kind of risk that Emma took. We save each other. That is what our family does. So have some faith in her.
I do.
Cut to present day.
Her faith in Hook is justified. Why must dark ones dress like monks?
I was going to say, like, that's just impractical.
I love it. More than anything.
Killian.
Fighting him off. But we know it all goes to shit, so...
I've spent an entire life running away from battles. Time to stop.
Damn!
You don't have anything to prove anymore. You say
Character development.
you're a hero now.
But that doesn't erase a lifetime of cowardice. I want to love you in a way I never could before. Honesty. And courage. Let me be the man you deserve.
That's what I want too. At least they're doing this like a season after they probably should have done it.
Don't say anything.
You!
Oh boy.
You told me explicitly not to let you through.
Well, then you're just doing your job.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Doing it, kudos to you.
Not so fast, sis.
Babyhood.
The only reason you have that baby is because you killed Marion. And you deceived Robin in the most vile way imaginable.
Yes.
This insanity has to stop. Agreed. But I don't think it can. Actually, I think maybe it can.
I expected to find you and the heroes huddled over a mountain of books trying to figure out my terrible plan.
That's not why you're here.
They're doing that somewhere else, actually.
You're here because you still have feelings for me.
When you tethered me to Excalibur, you opened my eyes, and I now see you for what you really are. Then a pretty blonde distraction. But guess what, Swan? I am a free man now, and you will never hold me back from getting what I want.
Ironic. Tethering him freed him.
Well, you're only a pawn if you don't know you're being used. As long long as I get what I want, I don't give a damn about the rest. You,
Oh.
people should understand that.
Well, that's going to backfire.
I did for you. That's why you'll always be an orphan. You don't need some villain swooping in to destroy your happiness.
Ooh.
You do that quite well all on your own.
Dark Hook is mean. Oh. Oh, better days.
Did you use it on me?
What? No, of course not. I was
Then
never.
why not tell me the truth?
Why you always lying?
But you clearly don't believe in me anymore, so how am I supposed to fight this? Don't.
So dramatic, these dark ones. I think I prefer the classic slamming the door exit, you know?
Here's the thing about confidence, Miss Swan. It's great at starting a fight, not so great at finishing one. Good luck.
Is the baby here?
Zelena.
Miss me? Told you. Once you go green, you'll never go queen.
Regina.
Oh. Wow.
This.
Well, you know how I turned it around. Henry.
It took
Yeah.
a child. That unconditional love. It made me my best self.
Maybe it can do the same for her.
And I'm hoping.
Oh, let's hope that goes well.
I'm not asking you to remove my cuff.
And how are you gonna do it without magic?
I'm gonna do it with hope. With you. Hook stole the dream catchers. No one was ever better at figuring out how to break a spell than you.
Yes.
Operation Cobra, remember? Operation Cobra Part 2?
That'll do.
Yay! Build some bridges.
Killian, wait! I didn't mean to do that.
But you did, and that's my point!
That's not why I called you here.
Oh,
I called you here
God.
because I do believe in you.
what a mess.
I love you.
It's just I'm usually the one who has to say that first. I love you too.
Oh, good. They're happy again. How long till they're sad again? Couple of minutes.
I can't have you surviving family members blame this loss on your leg.
Oh. Jolly nice. Jolly Roger. I imagine what he was saying to Emma's going to come back and haunt Hook here. Confidence can start fights, but not finish them.
If you're receiving this message, then things are worse than I feared. There's only one person who can help you figure
Oh, this is the message they got.
Her name is Nimue. If you want to destroy the darkness, then you must.
Oh, so it's Hook.
Dark one's for me already.
Uh-oh. Oh, God.
I am not going to crush it, but someone else will. Someone who might actually have feelings for you, dearie. And that's not me.
But it is me.
Oh.
Remember? I am all Dark Ones.
They say the first cut is the deepest.
It's always this place, isn't it?
The dream catchers work at
People need to start checking here first.
You didn't have to include me in this operation, but you did. You didn't try and do it alone. If you're willing to take that first step back, so am I.
Ah.
I will make it up to you.
I want to start by saving the day.
Yes, please.
But that man died the moment you turned him into a dark one.
Damn, son.
Finish it.
Do it. Oh. Bloody hell. Wow. Thank God he got knocked over by that thing that he could drop.
You've broken my heart too many times. There's too much broken trust. But I've changed.
I mean, I think that's fair.
Then why are you doing this now? Now we have a chance to make this work.
I don't know that I want to make it work.
Because you were a dick last season.
I do know that if I'm going to try and figure that out, I need to do that on my own.
Rest in peace.
Well, I guess that's it for Merlin.
It's over.
Well,
But I can make you forget.
There we go.
The Dark One in the first place.
Clever, dearie.
It's all coming together.
Using dark magic to add a memory wipe to the card.
Wouldn't have said this in episode 1. I'll give him that.
I remember. I know what he's doing. I know what they are doing.
Congratulations. You didn't completely fail.
Oh, lovely. Ominous. Oh, so all the old dark ones. I was going to make a joke like, oh, they look like monks, but then that's what Hook was saying earlier about dark ones. Oh dear. Oh no.
Welcome to Storybook, love.
Jeez. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, another really great episode. Very much enjoyed it, and I feel like they've filled in all the gaps now with like what happened in Camelot, which sets the stage for whatever the hell they have planned now that all the old Dark Ones are in Storybook in the flesh. Exactly what that's going to mean, I don't know, but an exciting idea that I wasn't really considering. I like that they spent a lot of the episode focusing on Hook's plan for revenge, and you think that's kind of his driving force, but there's almost like an ulterior motive to that, and he actually had other things going on that he wanted to focus on as well, and he actually had this other lingering plan kind of working its way in the background, and then boom, right at the end, you realise, you know, he may have lost the quest for revenge, but he still got what he needed for an ultimate plan. Which is good, otherwise it makes Dark Hook look a bit like, oh, well, you just got defeated by gold that easily, okay. But I've really enjoyed the focus on like this Dark Hook, I guess. And I think Colin is clearly having a lot of fun playing a different side to that character. So I guess it was kind of the point, kind of looking at where they went with the whole story, that Emma seems kind of the same as the Dark One, at least like in how she speaks and holds herself and everything. But I also still feel like it was a bit of a shame that they didn't do more with that character-wise and actually change it up even a little bit, because some of them still are like, oh, you're so different and I can't trust you anymore. And I feel like they could have done a lot more with the personality of the Dark Swan. But Dark Hook, he seems to have a bit more of a flair about him. He's very vindictive and cruel, like, you know, he used to be back in his piratey days. But there was kind of a different kind of energy to him that I thought Colin brought to the part that I really enjoyed. And I even enjoyed him doing the, you know, classic kind of Rumpel shtick, trying to like piss God off, I guess, at the start. So there's that pettiness there that I did really enjoy. So it was fun to see a different side to Hook in that sense. And it was fun to watch him because clearly Colin was having fun with it as well. So everything with that and revisiting the feud that he had with Rumpel, and the fact that him become the Dark One again, remembering that he is the Dark One, kind of brought all those feelings bubbling back up, and that was kind of something he wanted to do, get his revenge, or at least get the blood, I guess. It was a cool way of revisiting that and not feeling like, oh, they've just, you know, they've developed this character up to this point for a few seasons and now they've just gone straight back to the beginning. There's actually a reason for it, because the darkness inside him that's corrupted him, and that's kind of overwhelmed him with this hatred that he, you know, was working to power through, but now he didn't really have the means of fighting back the darkness anymore, so he's kind of fallen back into that. Whereas with Rumpel, like last season, when Mr. Gold was just like evil for the sake of plot, I felt like, and doing bad stuff just for the sake of it, that just felt like, well, they're not developing his character, they're just kind of going backwards with it and doing that development. So I felt like they maybe learned from that lesson with Hook this time, and actually really justified why he was consumed by darkness, because he literally was, and why they revisited that kind of feud between the two of them, even though it had been, you know, they basically kind of gotten used to it, not on good terms or anything. But that was cool. And Rumpel being a dick last season, in my opinion, has come back to bite him this time around. Because while he may have been good now, and while he's changing, he's got, you know, he's a hero now, that still can't undo the bad things that he did to Belle and the trust that he broke with her, the number of times he's broken her heart. Which is a cool episode title, because obviously Hook kind of mentioned it himself, and Emma kind of broke his heart a bit. I think he's kind of done it a bit in return. What Belle was talking about, Rumpel breaking her heart again and again, and actually seeing Hook break Merlin's heart and crushing it into nothing, which is, a lot. But I actually kind of am on Belle's side with that. I wasn't huge on what they did with Rumpel and Belle's relationship last season. I feel like it was a good chance to explore new things with it, and they just didn't take that, just by making him the villain again. But this season they've rectified that, and actually allowing Gold to have consequences to what he did. Even if he's not that man anymore, he still was that man at one point. And I don't think they'd fully explored that, and it fully allowed him to face the consequences of that when he was evil. He was just, oh, Belle, I still love you, forget whatever that guy's name was who's in Once Upon a Time in Wonderland. I still love you, let's get back together to work on this. And now Belle's like, you know what, I need to kind of heal my heart before I, work on healing yours and try and fight for yours. She just needs to step away, work out if, now that this is a possibility that those two can probably be together, and she can actually have what she wants in terms of a relationship with him, now she needs to work out if the journey to get there's even going to be worth it, and maybe she should just walk away now before she gets involved in it too heavily. I really like that decision that she made for herself, because I think a lot of Belle's arc in the entire show has been kind of more so to aid Rumpel's and Gold's arcs, so it's cool that she is getting a bit of a story of her own, hopefully, and trying to find and discover herself a bit. I mean, I have no doubt whatsoever that those two will get back together. I'd be very surprised if they don't. But I think it's good for now for there to actually have been more consequences to his actions in season 4, even if he is kind of a different person now. So I'm glad that they're exploring that, and I think it's a good thing that they did. It's probably going to be healthier for them in the long run if they do have some time apart. And yeah, I really enjoyed Belle kind of sticking up for herself and her health in that scene. So that was great. And maybe that'll be the last ever time we get a scene where Belle's walking away from Rumpel and he's watching her go with tears in his eyes, because I think we've had that about 30 times at this point, which is, I think that should be on like a Once Upon a Time bingo card at this point. But yeah, I really enjoyed that scene, and I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing a proper forever bond be built up again with those two, because I think there's some potential there for that, and there are a few other bonds kind of being rebuilt in this episode, mainly with Emma and Henry. I liked them teaming up, and Emma's kind of, the thing she always falls back on is if she's scared, she pushes everyone else away, thinks she can do everything on her own. The fact that she's kind of, even as the Dark One, letting people back in again and actually, letting people help her and go on these missions. I like that, and it showed a lot of maturity, I think, with Henry, when he was like, well, you've made this first step, like getting me involved in your plan. I'm going to meet you halfway as well, and they can kind of work to rebuilding that. And I'm excited to see them take those steps and, start to work their way back from the trust that Emma broke earlier in the season. And, that's very much a reflection of what's going on with Gold and Belle as well. It's just about rebuilding that trust. So I liked that running theme for lots of characters in this episode. And the fact that with Hook, his trust with Emma being completely broken, and seeing him be swayed by the darkness, and the idea that the person kind of guiding him through it is also a vision of the person that he wants revenge on. Everything that I thought was really interesting and clever. And it all leading to bringing all the Dark Ones in years gone by back from hell, and actually having them physically appear in the storybook was really interesting, as well as getting all the different flashbacks and filling in the gaps as to exactly how the curse came about, why everyone forgot exactly what went down in those 6 weeks, what Hook was planning, Merlin's message, seeing him actually record that and send it off, and it was actually Hook who was kind of interrupting him, not Emma, like you were probably led to believe earlier in that season when we first saw that message, which is really clever. I liked that. And Merlin's just dead, I guess. A clever loophole again with that, I think. The fact that technically Hook can be seen as, oh yeah, he is Nimue, because all the other Dark Ones are kind of still in him. So technically, she is crushing the heart of the person she loves most. That was actually quite clever. I mean, I'm sure Merlin doesn't agree. He's probably a bit annoyed at that loophole. But a really interesting way of making and casting this curse, but there's still a stake to it. It's not like they did a loophole and Merlin can live, but a heart was still crushed or whatever, and the curse can be cast. You know, it still took someone to die to make the curse happen. So I'm glad they didn't remove the stakes from that. Otherwise, it's like, well, you know, if anyone can just cast a curse with a loophole, then nothing means anything. So I'm glad they're still sticking to the rules of like magic comes with a price and everything with that. So that was all very well done. Even if I'm sad that that's probably it for Merlin, I feel like they could have done a bit more with him. But regardless, you know, he played the part in this story arc. So where could they have gone further? I don't know. So yes, I enjoyed getting all those flashbacks filled in with what happened in Camelot. I feel like we're fully caught up now. And the next episode, if it is kind of the end of this first arc, because I feel like it's going to be, especially now we have all like the answers in flashbacks. I'm intrigued to see how they may wrap it all up, set up something else for the second half of the season, or if this just still continue for a bit. You know, I really don't know yet. So yeah, I'm excited to see where all that goes and get those answers with a lot of fun. And I also enjoyed the Zelena angle that Regina and Robin have kind of worked out, because it is unfair to just like not let Zelena see her daughter completely, because she is, you know, she's her mother. So that makes sense, and Regina herself knows a lot of mother issues that her and Zelena both went through, so I don't think she would take that away vindictively against her sister like that. And because she was like, well, Henry's the reason I'm a better person and I'm the best version of myself, hopefully the same can happen for you, through you having a child of your own and loving them. So hopefully that's going to be something good for Zelena, maybe a bit of redemption for her in that sense. Because otherwise you're just in, you know, like the trap, I guess, with Rumpel and Gold. Like, how long do you just have them be the villain for before they're too far gone and there's nothing else you can really do for them except maybe kill them just to end their story. You kind of have to redeem them, really, or nothing else. But, you know, I think they should either keep Zelena, you know, devious and wicked as she is, and keep her on that path, or if they are going to do a potential redemption for her through having this kid, even though the fact that she's in the house this kid at all is because she kind of raped Robin, so it doesn't exactly come from a nice place anyway. But I guess we have to make do with what we have, and I'm glad that Regina really called her out for that. So I felt like the show hadn't done enough to actually really berate Zelena for what she did in getting pregnant like that. But yeah, if they do kind of set on this path for redemption, I hope they don't just go backwards on it again, just for the sake of plot and to, you know, fill a few episodes like they did with Gold last season, I felt. So we'll see what happens with that. But I'm kind of interested in seeing Zelena get redeemed. I think that could be quite something. And if anything is going to do it, it will be, you know, her daughter. So we'll see what happens. And I also enjoyed Robin being like, look, we're never going to be a family. I'm with Regina, but we're going to allow you to kind of, you know, with supervision, you can still spend time with your daughter, which I think is fair. And they can't just cut her off from it completely. So exactly where that dynamic's going to go, I'm not sure, but I imagine it's going to be dramatic because it's Once Upon a Time and there's still another half a season to go yet. So yeah, we'll see what happens with all of that as well. But I did enjoy the setup there for an interesting story for Zelena. I'm hoping that isn't just, oh, aren't I terrible, aren't I wicked, ha ha ha. So yeah, all of that was good stuff. And some crazy setup for the next episode and potentially beyond. We'll see, with all the Dark Ones now appearing. Exactly how that's all going to play out, no clue. But I will say, as always, with Once Upon a Time and their long-running arcs, I feel like when you come to like the end of one, at least I feel like we're coming to the end of one. I never would have imagined this would be the scenario that they were building up to in episode 1. You know, they keep you on your toes, they keep surprising you, and I do enjoy that. Never would have guessed all of this was because like Hook had become a Dark One and he murdered Merlin and all of that. So yeah, getting all these answers, as always, with Once Upon a Time, it's very satisfying to kind of get to that point that, okay, what's going to happen next? And I'm very, very excited for it. So yeah, I think that's kind of everything I have to say. But another really fantastic episode. I can't wait to see where they're going to take it and what having all these Dark Ones around is going to mean and how, I imagine inevitably, everyone's going to be able to stop them. But You know, can they undo Emma being the Dark One? Can they undo Hook being the Dark One? You know, are they both going to be kind of cured of it, I guess, somehow? I'd be very surprised if at least Emma doesn't kind of get returned to normal. I'd be very surprised indeed. But who knows? You know, this story arc has surprised me a lot, so I guess we'll have to see. And I still feel like there's some loose ends with Arthur and everything, so is that going to be wrapped up anytime soon? Is that going to continue on for the rest of the season or a bit longer? Who knows, but I'm excited to find out. And yeah, another really great episode. Looking forward to seeing where it goes next. And until my next reaction, thanks for watching.